Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is time for El Dorado Bronco baseball on a beautiful Monday night from El Dorado, Kansas. Tonight, the Broncos welcome in the Park City Rangers. Good evening, Kurt Caden here, and we are ready to bring you action tonight on YouTube. Nice to have you tuned in, and hopefully the video let's see, YouTube rules does not allow me to have the national anthem music on the air, so hopefully you could figure out as I zoomed in on the flag and the players and whatnot that that's what we were doing, and now yours truly can visit with you. Nice to have you tuned in tonight for Bronco baseball, and the third of a three-game set here. They had Park City on Saturday night, won 7-6, knocked off the Kansas Cannons last night 6-0, and now here is the Park City Rangers back in town. Their batting order looks like this. Alex Polston leads off. He had a good game here Saturday. He's the shortstop. Braxton Chapman's the right fielder. Brandon Landinger bats third. Sherwin Salem will bat fourth, the second baseman. Channing Williams fifth, the left fielder. Clayton Beaver behind the plate batting sixth. Matt Baca will bat seventh. Steven Contreras, the designated hitter, batting eighth, and Cameron Zane bats ninth. He is their first baseman. For the El Dorado Broncos, out in the field from left to right, Mike Leal is in left field, Tyler Sutherland is in center field, and Phil Jacobson is in right field. Tony Colsing is over at third base tonight, Grant Ware at shortstop, Anders Green is at second base, and Slayton Vaughn at first. Behind the plate, Ethan Maxey. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Broncos is Andrew Morales. And again, the Broncos are going to be on. They've got their innings attached. They know who's pitching what inning tonight. So Morales will get 2 innings before we go down the trail. Andrew Morales starting from the stretch, and his first pitch is a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch, that one is a little outside, ball 2. The 2 ball and no strike count. And that one's chopped towards third, got past a diving Tony Colsing and into left field, so Alex Polston, a base hit to start this game. Morales over to first base to check on Polston, and he is safe. Big thanks to Bill Young and all his expertise with all the new fancy gizmos we have to play with here for this year. Here's a bouncer out to second, and Green's got the ball. He fire over to second base. Nice play. That was not an easy put out, but they retire Polston 4-6 on that play. And Chapman reaches on a fielder's choice. The easy play for Anders, go over to first, but then you leave a very speedy Alex Polston in scoring position. So that was a very nice play by Anders Green. So here's Brandon Landinger, and he'll look at ball 1. Check over on Chapman. He's back safely. Landinger was 1 for 4 here on Saturday night. He doubled and scored. Had a couple of strikeouts. Batted second here Saturday. Tonight he's batting third. Morales has his sign after a couple of checks on Chapman, and now the pitch chopped towards Green. Green fires over to second for 1. No chance for a double play, so consecutive ground outs to second base and force plays at second. So here's Sherwin Salem, the second baseman, with 2 away in the top half of the first inning. Park City and El Dorado. And the first pitch to Salem, he offered, and that's a strike. Visited with Doug Bell, the general manager. This game was originally going to be a road game, but then the stadium became open. And so Doug asked the Park City folks, would you rather play here? Salem hits one foul out of play. And Park City was like, yeah, we'd rather come here to McDonald Stadium. Not a very far trip for them. So that is why we are here again tonight with Park City. No balls and 2 strikes. Morales. And there's a check swing. He offered, but it got past Maxey, and he does not have a play. He kind of double clutched. I don't think he expected to have a play. Then he figured he did. So it'll be a strikeout for Morales, and advancing to first is Salem on the wild pitch. So the Broncos will have to get 4 outs here in the inning. Channing Williams, the left fielder, comes up to the dish. Another beautiful sunshiny day here in El Dorado. Here's the pitch from Morales. That's hit foul. And tonight, we've got vehicles. We've got youth baseball going on here at the facility. So the last 2 nights, the parking lot's been barren over down the first base line. So any foul ball, there was really no drama. Now tonight, we'll have to watch as foul balls go over there, and every now and then they might plunk a car. There's a strike. Strike 2 here to Williams. That's why I park behind the stadium across the street. I do not want to find my car with a big dent in it or a windshield knocked out. No balls and 2 strikes. Morales to Williams with runners at first and second, and the pitch fouled off. Clayton Beaver would be next for the Rangers. El Dorado again in the camouflage orange tops, white pants. Park City in the same uniforms they were in here on Saturday night. No balls, 2 strikes to Channing Williams, the pitch, and that one got away. That's going to be a wild pitch as Morales pats his chest, telling his catcher Maxey, that was my fault. So with 1 hit, a couple of fielders, 2 fielders' choices, a strikeout and a wild pitch, somehow the Rangers have 2 runners in scoring position. You might remember here on Saturday, Park City fell behind 6-0 and then clawed their way back, ended up losing 7-6. Here's a tap foul, and we'll do it again. Park City looking to get in the lead. They never led here on Saturday. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Andrew Morales to Channing Williams. And Williams, a high chopper to third. Colsing's got a good arm. He throws it off the wrong foot, and he still had enough on there to retire Williams. What a play by Tony Colsing, as we've grown so accustomed to seeing through the past year or 2. In the inning, for the Rangers, no runs, 1 hit. There was no errors and 2 left. So we'll go to the bottom half of the first inning. It's Park City 0 and your Broncos coming to bat. More play-by-play in a moment here on YouTube. Let's take a look at the batting order tonight for the El Dorado Broncos. Anders Green in the leadoff position again. Mike Leal will bat second. Tyler Sutherland in the number 3 hole. Slayton Vaughn will bat fourth. Will Price is fifth. Tony Colsing bats sixth. Phil Jacobson batting seventh. Ethan Maxey will bat eighth. And Grant Ware is batting ninth. For the Rangers out in the field, in the outfield, it's Channing Williams in left field. The center fielder is Brandon Landinger, and the right fielder is Braxton Chapman. On the infield, Matt Baca. He played right field here Saturday night. He's playing third base tonight. So Baca at third, Polston at short. The second baseman is Salem, and the first baseman is Zane. Behind the plate is Clayton Beaver. And on the mound is Tyler Huffstickler for Park City. Left-hander, and he starts out from the stretch as well. And his second offering is in there for a strike. So a ball and a strike here in the bottom of the first to Anders Green. Outside, ball 2.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take care of it.
2 balls and 1 strike to Anders Green, and Huffstickler fires it in. That one's fouled out of play, and it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anders Green out of San Mateo Community College, 6'2", 190, hometown Silverton, Oregon. And I hope Ingrid Green had safe travels. She flew back yesterday to Oregon. And the 2-2 is outside, ball 3. Our email address, boy, we've had a lot of them the first 2 nights. Love to hear from those of you watching and listening. Our email address, Caden Broadcasting, that's C-A-D-E-N, CadenBroadcasting@gmail.com. Full count to Anders Green. Here's the pitch. Curveball hit up the middle. Polston on one hop. Now fires to first, one hop, and a retire Green. So a nice play on both ends. Polston out at short and then over at first base. Nice pick by Cameron Zane. So 1 away, and here comes Mike Leal.
Batting second, playing left field from Lamar University, number 3, Mike Leal.
Mike Leal bats left-handed. Played against the Rangers Saturday. He did not play last night. Visited with Chad Gerwick. He really likes the versatility that this team has. There's some bats that he really wants to keep in the lineup somehow, and yet keep everyone fresh and able to give him innings. Here's the 1-0, and that's inside, ball 2. He says just one player is not here, and that's the catcher Brady Childs, who plays for Nebraska. Brady was, of course, in regional play. They expect him here Friday or Saturday. The 2-0 pitch, and that's right down the middle, strike 1. Tyler Huffstickler. Don't have much else on Huffstickler, just his name. 2-1 pitch, sails outside, ball 3, so way ahead is Mike Leal. Tyler Sutherland will be next for the Broncos. Well, for the first time in a couple of nights, we actually have just a little bit of cloud cover right up above. It's not quite as bright as it has been the last 2 nights. Here's one chopped out to the second baseman and flip over to first to retire Mike Leal. He got jammed on that 3-1 pitch, and Salem came in and made the nice play, and there's 2 away. And that'll bring up Tyler Sutherland.
From Missouri Southern, number 10, Tyler Sutherland.
Tyler Sutherland last night went 0 for 4, reached on an error in the 5th inning. He eventually came around and scored. Looks at strike 1. So no balls and a strike, 2 away here in the home half of the first inning for the Broncos. El Dorado's been really good scoring early the last 2 nights. Led 6-0 after 2 innings Saturday, led 4-0 after 2 last night. Curveball, a beauty in there, a swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sutherland. Sutherland stands 6'4", 210. Huffstickler working quickly. He's got his sign. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And a check swing. Did he hold up? And no need to ask the first base umpire. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch from Huffstickler. High chopper to third. Waiting is Baca. Now he's got it. Fires to first. Close play, but Sutherland is retired. So 3 infield outs for the Broncos here in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll head to the second inning. It's 0-0 between Park City and El Dorado. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So both starting pitchers, well, relatively easy. Huffstickler certainly had an easy inning for the Rangers. Morales, there wasn't anything really hard hit, but the Rangers did get runners at second and third with 2 outs before retiring Williams on a close play. Tony Colsing made a nice pickup over at third base. So it's Clayton Beaver, the catcher, leading off for Park City here in the top half of the second inning against Andrew Morales in his second inning of work. This will be his final inning, and Beaver, kind of a meek swing, rolls over to first. Vaughn, an easy pickup. He'll take it himself for the first out of the inning. So here comes Matt Baca. Matt Baca was 0 for 3 here Saturday night. He was hit by pitch, eventually scored a run. Matt had a tough time out in right field negotiating, and then out of nowhere, he made a brilliant diving catch in right center field. And a swing and a miss, strike 1. Morales quickly has a sign from Ethan Maxey, and the pitch, another curve in there, and that's another beauty, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. The nice thing with a little bit of cloud cover up above, much easier to read the scoreboard now. Usually you can't really read it until about the 7th inning, but we can read it easily now. Fastball on the inside, just missed, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matt Baca. Steven Contreras, the DH, waits on deck for Park City. Open stance here for Baca, and Maxey able to smother that ball in the turf, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll pan out in the parking lot and give you a look at what it looks like here in between innings. Here's the 2-2, hit down to Colsing at third on a couple of hops. Now rifles it over to first and retires Baca for the second out of the inning.
Now at the plate, number 26, the designated hitter.
So here comes Steven Contreras. Contreras batting 8th in the Ranger lineup. So 2 away, and the first pitch is fouled, may have gotten a piece of Maxey, but he seems to be all right. Strike one. Here's the 0-1 and a wave and a miss. Strike two, and Morales had Contreras completely fooled there. Hello to John and Jana Stuckey. Their son Mason starting to catch her last night. Here's Contreras in the hole, off the glove of Colsing, and dribbles into left field. We'll see what Gary's going to give an error. Hard to argue with that. Hard to argue with Gary in general. So the Stuckeys are watching and listening tonight, and they are from Inola, Oklahoma. I do not know where that is. I know it's south. Cameron Zane, the batter now for the Rangers. He's their first baseman. And he laces one into left center field. Let's see how far Contreras goes. This one splits the outfielders. Now picking it up is the left fielder, Leal. The throw to short, now to home. They have plenty of time, but the throw is offline. Now down to third. A beautiful throw. The run will score, but they picked Zane off the third. A terrific play by the catcher, Ethan Maxey. He threw a strike down to third base. So a double for Zane. He's cut down at third. He gets an RBI, and the Park City Rangers lead for the first time in 2 nights. So a run on one hit. There was one error and no one left. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. It's Park City 1, El Dorado 0. You're listening to Bronco Baseball here on YouTube. And welcome back. Kurt Caden here from McDonald Stadium. And one of our returning viewers from last year, Oscar Morales, father of Andrew Morales, watching and listening. Andrew with a couple of good innings. His night is done now. Thanks for the email. Hello to Lynn Colsing, another frequent emailer, which I appreciate. Even took a snapshot there watching at the Colsing House up in Chaska, Minnesota. Tony's been busy here early on. 2 balls and no strikes. Leading off this inning for the Broncos is Slayton Vaughn. 1-0 Park City. And the pitch, and that one's in there for strike one. Well, we knew it wouldn't last forever, but this is the first time in 3 nights that the Broncos have trailed. They led the entire way Saturday, led all the way last night. They finally fall behind. It took 20 innings to fall behind. Vaughn laces one out into center field, a base hit for Slayton Vaughn. And he did it with just 2 balls, not 2 strikes. Normally on a Saturday night, he liked to get into an 0-2 hole and then come up with base hits. So Will Price comes to the plate. Will Price went the whole way last night. Last night he was the right fielder. He went 1 for 4, had a double, scored a run. And I know we had several emails from the Price family last night, and I'm hoping they're watching and listening again tonight. He looks at strike one. No balls and 1 strike here in the bottom of the second inning. Tyler Huffstickler, the pitcher for the Rangers, and he throws one in there for a strike. Strike 2 right across the knees. So no balls and 2 strikes. Slayton Vaughn, probably not the best stolen base candidate on the El Dorado roster, the 6'7", 260 young man. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Price. Tony Kolsing waits on deck. Here is the 1-2, and Price fights that one off, fouls it out of play. Just kind of a hazy cloud right up above McDonald Stadium, really making it even more pleasant than it already was here at the stadium. Here's the 1-2, and that curveball bounces in. Vaughn with a long look in, then Price inadvertently kicked it back to the catcher and went through his legs, but he gathers it. No harm, no foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Will Price. Will DHing tonight for the Broncos. Good gap in right center field. We've seen Will go that way. Here is the pitch, and it's chopped in and fouled right off his foot. Rolls onto the base umpire. That cannot feel good. And the umpire will give Will a few moments to shake that off. So the 2-2 pitch, Slayton Vaughn over at first base, and now Will Price is ready, so is the pitcher Huffstickler. And the pitch, and he had a notion, laid off, good eye by Will Price, and it's ball 3, so he's worked it to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Will Price. We'll see if Vaughn's in motion here. He is not. The pitch, curveball, hit towards third. Gloved over there by Baca over to second and off the glove. So Salem didn't haul it in, and so that'll be an error. So the Broncos have runners at first and second, and here is Tony Kolsing. Tony from Chaska, Minnesota, goes to school at South Dakota State. 5'11", 175. Terrific arm. And the Broncos with no one down and runners at first and second here in the bottom of the second inning. And the pitch to Kolsing is low, ball 1. Talked to Chad Gerwick last night about Tony. He was so hot early in the season. He feels like, they had to have Tony out there. His defense was so good. Feels like maybe he wore down a little bit. Offense struggled. Defense was always there. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is off the plate, ball 2. So Gerwick feels like with Adam Brown now maybe Tony doesn't have to play every game. And, these guys play so much baseball. The parents who are watching know that for sure. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Tony Kolsing. And that one low, ball 3. But you figure, there's at their colleges, they start doing baseball stuff, I'm sure, in December, January, February. Your season kind of starts late February, March. You play March, April, May, tournament time. Get a little bit of a break, and now here you are playing almost every night here in June and July. 3-0 pitch in there for strike 1, and then if you're fortunate, like the Broncos were last year, to make the NBC World Series, you got guys playing into early August, and then they get a very little break before they have to head back off to school. So it's pretty demanding to be a college baseball player. They love it. I know that. They wouldn't do it if they didn't, but it is taxing, and that's why we see the Broncos with 3 catchers on their roster and several players, a lot of pitchers. Certainly the pitchers, you got to protect their managers or their coaches at their colleges. Don't want to see them hurting their arms any. So Chad Gerwick's got a lot to kind of weigh as he goes in and night out. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Tony Kolsing. And he hits one through the hole on the right side, a base hit. Vaughn rounds third, and Chad Gerwick had a huge red light. And Vaughn stops there. So the bases are loaded with nobody out. Tony Colsing just found a beautiful hole between first and second and slapped it through there. So Phil Jacobson has a chance to really do some damage here. And you know Phil is chomping at the bit. He had a rough night here on Saturday against these Rangers. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So here's a chance with nobody out, bases loaded, to really erase that memory from Saturday. We didn't see Phillip last night in the win against the Kansas Cannons. Bases loaded. And the pitch off the glove. Here comes Vaughn. It might be a play. Vaughn slides in. So a pass ball will score Vaughn. And the Rangers in a giving mood here in this second inning. An error, which really should have been a double play ball. You can't assume a double play, but certainly would have had one out. Now a pass ball scores a run, and we're tied at 1. Philip Jacobson now has a chance to drive in 2. Speedy runner at second, Tony Colsing. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes to Philip Jacobson. Catcher Ethan Maxey waits on deck for the Broncos. And the 2-0 fastball in there for strike 1. There's a look down at Ethan Maxey as he gets ready for his plate appearance. Back to the game as Huffstickler gets his sign. Try to get as much of the field as we can there. Kind of just chop off third base. Hard to see can't see the left fielder, I know. But almost everything. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Jacobson outside, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike. Infield playing halfway. They will try to cut down Will Price if there's a ball hit in the infield. Outfield at regular depth, and no worries here. A 5-pitch walk to Philip Jacobson. So the bases are reloaded, and now Huffstickler is going to get a visit from his manager. Tyler Huffstickler cruised through the first inning, 3 infield ground outs, but then a single, an error, a single, a pass ball, a walk, and the Rangers are in some trouble right now. We're tied at 1. Nobody out, bases loaded. The line score is 1-2-1 for the Rangers, 1-2-1 for the Broncos. Our email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. If you're a fan of the Park City Rangers, feel free to drop me a line. We welcome the visitors as well. And hello to Janet Brown. She is the mother of Adam Brown. I'll tell you what, I've liked watching Adam Brown the last 2 nights. He's not in the lineup tonight. Doesn't mean we won't see him at some point. Here's the pitch to Maxey outside, ball 1. But watching and listening from Madison, Alabama. Now, I'm from Wisconsin, so when I think of Madison, Wisconsin. Madison, Alabama. And glad that you're enjoying the broadcast tonight and all season long. Maxey was fooled. He swings and waves at it. Strike 1. I've been to Gulf Shores before. I like Alabama. I'm anti-cold, so the further south I get, the better. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases are full of Broncos, and no one's been retired. 4 batters have come to the plate already against Huffstickler here in the second. And Maxey behind on the fastball, strike 2. Huffstickler would love a strikeout here. Maxey wants to put something in play. Ethan was 1 for 4 here against the Rangers on Saturday. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball and a swing and a miss. Boy, it just from the left-handed arm of Huffstickler, starts out on the outer portion of the plate, and that thing really dove to the back foot of Maxey, and a terrific pitch by Huffstickler, and that's the first out of the inning. So here comes Grant Ware, the number 9 batter in the lineup for the Broncos. Grant goes to school right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College, 6'1", 140. He's from Conroe, Texas. He looks at ball 1. Roger Cruz will be the next Bronco pitcher for the 3rd and 4th innings. Got a nice email from the Cruz family. 1 ball and no strikes to Grant Ware, and the pitch. That one in there, strike 1. Seems like Huffstickler's not locating his fastball as well, but his curveball has really all of a sudden turned around for him. Trying to work out of a big jam here. The Broncos have scored 1. They've got the bases loaded and 1 away. And the 1-1 pitch, and that one's hit foul. Doink, off the top of a car. I thought that had windshield all over it. But it hit the top part. So now Grant Ware will have to get into protect mode, and Huffstickler's a strike away from getting 2 big outs here in this big jam he's been in here. 1 and 2. And the pitch, fastball chopped in the infield, and the play, well, they're going to go to first. They had a shot at home, but they'll take Ware at first. So that will score Will Price. Ware grounds out 5-3. He'll get an RBI on that. So 2 away. And now Anders Green has a chance to do some damage here. The Broncos trailed for all of 1/2 inning there, and they decided to get it going, and now they lead 2-1. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Tony Colsing's down at 3rd. Philip Jacobson at 2nd. Here's one, and that one hit Green. Got him on the shoelaces, so he'll go, and then the bases are loaded again. And Mike Leal will come to the dish.
Now at the plate, your left fielder, number 3, Mike Leal.
Busy Bronco base pads here in the 2nd inning. Vaughn started it with a single. Price, a fielder's choice, which turned into an error on the second baseman, Salem. Colsing with a single through the right side. Jacobson walked. And now Green is hit by a pitch. And the first offering to Leal is out of the zone, ball 1. Leal is the 8th batter to come to the plate here in the 2nd inning for El Dorado. A tale of 2 innings for the starter, Huffstickler. Here's the pitch. Leal hits this one foul down the right side. Again, Tyler Huffstickler was just barely worked up a sweat in the 1st inning. He's really had to work, though, in the 2nd. A walk, an error, a hit batter, 2 singles. And the pitch and a swing and a miss to Leal, strike 2. If Huffstickler can take any solace from this, really outside of the shot by Vaughn, there hasn't been anything really hard hit. Broncos have found some holes in taking advantage of opportunity. Full house on the board. 1s and 2s all over the place. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. And the pitch, Leal flips it into center field, but right at Brandon Landinger to retire the side. So the Broncos do score twice on 2 hits. There was an error and 3 left. We'll go to the 3rd inning. It's El Dorado 2, Park City 1. And welcome back here to McDonald Stadium. And we continue to kind of experiment with some of the new equipment. So now we've opened up the window. Noticed, especially late in the games, we get some glare on the picture. So we'll just let some of that warm air blow in, and hopefully you've got an even better look at the beautiful Brad Long Field here inside McDonald Stadium. Broncos lead 2-1 here in the top of the third inning. And the leadoff batter for the Rangers is Alex Polston. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Polston. And the new pitcher for the Broncos, we mentioned, it's Roger Cruz. Polston looks at strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Roger Cruz, 6'1", 185, out of Brentwood, California. Goes to school at San Mateo Community College. And the right-hander wheels and deals. A little off speed, no good. Hits ball 3. That one dropped in a little low. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Polston. Polston singled and was cut down on a nice play by Anders Green at second base. So the 3-2 pitch from Cruz, and that one off the plate, ball 4, and a leadoff walk to Alex Polston. Cruz, just 1 inning pitch so far this season. Gave up 3 hits, a couple of runs. They were both earned. He had a strikeout in his 1 inning of work. And 1 out to second. Anders Green over to second for 1. Deck to first, not in time. So we've seen this before. Braxton Chapman grounds to Green, and Polston is cut down at second base. So here's Brandon Landinger. He grounded into a fielder's choice back in inning number 1. And the pitch from Cruz, and that one darts down low, ball 1. 2-1 Broncos here in the third. Left-handed batter is Brandon Landinger, and running on the play, a little hit and run, fouled off by Landinger, and that'll send Chapman back to first base. So the umpire walking out. I think that got a piece of Ethan Maxey. Right fingers. He's trying to shake some life back into those fingers. Looks like we're ready for action. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brandon Landinger. Sherwin Salem waits on deck for the Park City Rangers. And a throw over to first, and back safely is Chapman. Roger Cruz has his sign, and now the pitch on the run. There's one hit towards second base, caught, touched the base, and over to first. That worked out beautifully. Got tongue-tied as Grant Ware was going to cover. There was the baseball. He fielded it, touched second over to first, and a 6-3 double play turned by Grant Ware. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 2.5. Broncos 2, Rangers 1. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So the bottom of the third inning has arrived, and it's Tyler Sutherland leading it off for El Dorado. The Broncos sent 8 to the plate in the second innings, plated 2 of them. First pitch low to Sutherland. Huffstickler out to begin his third inning of work for the Rangers. And the 1-0 pitch, a high chopper out to second. Salem waits, and it almost bounced over his head, and that's going to be a Brad Longfield base hit right there. Probably Salem needed to come in a little bit and get it on a bit of a short hop there. It took that second hop and really sprung. Salem's not the tallest of folks out there, so an infield single for Tyler Sutherland. So here comes Slayton Vaughn. The impressive stature of Vaughn, 6'7", 260, from Stephen F. Austin University. He really had the sharpest single of all on either side so far tonight, and he looks at strike one. So the 0-1 pitch from Huffstickler. Sutherland on the go, and again, Vaughn slaps it into center field. Sutherland around second. He will get the third. Vaughn had thoughts of second, and Baca quickly looked up and saw that Slayton was trying to make it that way, and Slayton turned around. So a good hit and run there by the El Dorado Broncos. Tyler Sutherland, always aggressive, able to make it to third base, and Vaughn is 2 for 2. So Will Price will come to the plate again. Last time, hit into a fielder's choice. He eventually came around and scored on Grant Ware's infield ground out. Will Price, first pitch, hits him. Let me get the bases there so you can see on the screen as well. The Broncos have the bases loaded and nobody out. For the second consecutive inning, the Broncos have gotten their first 3 players on base. So no outs, bases loaded for Tony Colsing. Lynn Colsing watching anxiously, I'm sure, back in Minnesota. And Colsing laces one out to right field. Going back and planting under it, making the catch is Chapman. And that will be plenty deep to score. Sutherland advancing to third is Vaughn. And it's a sacrifice RBI, sacrifice fly by Tony Colsing.
Now at the plate, number 11, your right fielder, Philip Jacobson.
So Sutherland comes in to score. Vaughn over to third. And the Broncos take a 3-1 lead. And on the move is Price. Price getting down to second base, and he is safe. The pitch was a strike to Philip Jacobson. Philip walked, reached second base back in the second inning. So now the Park City infield comes in, so Philip Jacobson's average should go up, you would think. A better percentage of getting it past those infielders when they're in. There's ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Philip Jacobson. Jacobson from South Dakota State. He's calls Dakota Dunes, South Dakota home. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Jacobson, and that one too low, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Ethan Maxey waits on deck for the Broncos. Park City's got action in their bullpen. 1 away, runners at second and third for El Dorado. A 2-1 count to Jacobson and the pitch. And that one's hit to third. Nice play by Baca. Now throwing over to first in time to retire Jacobson. Baca forced Vaughn to come back to third and then showed off a good arm and retired Jacobson.
Now with the plate number 24.
That was an excellent play by Matt Baca down at third base. So with 2 away, Ethan Maxey, we'll see if he can come up with a big 2-out RBI opportunity. Here's one off the glove of Beaver, and that'll score Vaughn. Another freebie. That one got away from Beaver. Did Gary say wild pitch? Is that what I heard? Wild pitch. So over to third is Will Price, and the Broncos now take a 4-1 lead. Ethan Maxey struck out swinging last inning. Here's the pitch. That one bounces away. Now Will Price coming in, and 2 gifts. That's 3 altogether on the night from Huffstickler. Another pass ball. Or wow, that was a wild pitch, I'm sure. I could read Gary's mind on that one. So Will Price comes in to score. So the first 3 batters of the inning, Sutherland an infield single, Vaughn a single, and Will Price hit by a pitch. They all come home for El Dorado. And now Maxey lays down a bunt, and that one took a funky spin away from Huffstickler. It'll be a bunt single for the catcher, Ethan Maxey. Huffstickler's wondering what in the world went on there with that bounce. Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, Maxey just taking advantage of just kind of a frustrated Huffstickler there. So Grant Ware is going to be next. I've shorted the Broncos a run. There we go, 5-1. So a mound visit from the Park City manager. John Branham, Tanner Lee, and Tyler Huffstickler are the Park City coaches. Long visit with Huffstickler, and the umpire now starts to trot on out there. I'm sure just telling Tyler to settle down. His stuff has been good tonight, but boy, the wild pitches really hurting Huffstickler and the Rangers here in the third inning. There's a good look at Grant Ware as he stands in. I'll back it up so we can see the whole field now. And a throw over to first, and Ethan Maxey is in there safely. 5-1 El Dorado. The Broncos are on the road tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. It looks like there'll be, I think, an audio broadcast. There's Maxey getting back again. An audio broadcast of the game Thursday from Hayes. What their radio? I'm not sure if they have radio or what. They're not streaming all the games. It didn't look like, but they're going to be on local radio in Hayes. So I'm guessing it's going to be an audio-only stream on Thursday night. I think Huffstickler was still just throw a few over to first base as we get our pitcher warmed up. And so Tyler Huffstickler's night is going to be over. He battled tonight. Had a very nice first inning, but the wheels came off in the second and the third. So a pitching change here from El Dorado. Broncos lead 5-1. Grant Ware will be batting with Ethan Maxey at first base. When we come back, you're watching and listening to exclusive coverage of Bronco baseball here on YouTube. So Jarrett Price takes over on the mound for the Park City Rangers, and he'll inherit Ethan Maxey at first base and Grant Ware at the plate, and Price fastball low, ball one. Is that called the chicken song, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the chicken song. It's always fun. You know the chicken song. It's always kind of fun. I mean, we have a good crowd here tonight, but, if there's a ton of people, everyone will stand up and do that if you're at a Major League game or something. It's a little, sparser here, and so it's kind of fun watching the folks who kind of want to stand up, but they just don't feel like they should, but their feet are tapping, and they kind of do the motions, and it's fun to watch. I was trying to gather that as I was panning around. Grant Ware hit that one on the screws, but right at the center fielder Landinger, and that will end the inning. 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 man left on base. We're through 3. El Dorado 5. Park City 1. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So we start the top of the 4th. Salem lays down a bunt. Colsing on the charge. Fires it. I'll tell you what, no one throws it off the wrong foot better than Tony Colsing as he retires Sherwin Salem. Salem bunted that a little harder than he wanted. But Colsing still had to come in and make a terrific play, and he did like he does so many times, especially on balls just like that. So 1 away and a swing and a miss by Channing Williams. Roger Cruz in his 2nd inning of work here from El Dorado tonight. Broncos leading 5-1, and the pitch hit towards third. Colsing has to back up. He's got plenty of arm. There it is, and he retires Williams. And that's 2 away. Colsing has been busy tonight. That's the 4th putout tonight. He has had 1 error, but he has thrown out 4 players tonight. So 2 away. And a ball to Clayton Beaver, the catcher. And the 1-0 pitch. Curveball in there for strike 1. Broncos leading 5-1. They've yet to retire the Rangers. Oh, check that. Well, they only faced 3, but it took a double play in the 3rd inning to do it. The Rangers have had a runner on base, multiple runners on base in each inning. But now 2 away in the 4th inning. And Beaver has a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And the pitch outside, ball 2. Temperature right now, 81 degrees here in El Dorado. It's supposed to start getting even warmer, I believe, over the weekend when the Dodge City A's are here in town. Here's the 3-2, and that one bounced in. So Cruz was way ahead of Beaver, but lost him. So a 2-out walk to Beaver will bring up Matt Baca. Right-handed batter is Matt Baca, grounded out to Tony Colsing in the second inning. Beaver over at first, a short lead, and now the pitch, and that's in there for strike 1. So the Broncos on the road Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you're on Twitter, I would encourage you to either follow or go to the Hayes Larks page. Hopefully they'll be updating, along with the Broncos, of course. And then I'll see if I can get that link of that stream posted on the Facebook page and on Twitter, on the El Dorado Bronco Twitter page before Thursday. Maxey able to block that one in the turf. 2 balls and a strike. We'll have all the home broadcasts all year long. And our next broadcast will be Friday night, 7 o'clock. The Dodge City A's are in town. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one's low, ball 3. The league is formatted a little differently this year. I'll talk maybe a little more about that next half inning. 3 balls and 1 strike to Matt Baca. And the pitch from Roger Cruz, and that one's high, ball 4, a 5-pitch walk. So now runners at first and second. Steven Contreras reached on a Tony Colsing error, and he has scored the lone run for the Rangers here tonight. Chad Gerwick keeping the innings and the pitch count pretty low on all of his staff. Here's Contreras down to Colsing, and he'll fire it over to first and retire Contreras and Tony Colsing, all 3 putouts there in the 4th inning. They were squeezed in between a couple of walks, but no damage done. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. El Dorado 5, Park City 1. So it's time for the bottom of the 4th inning and the top of the lineup for the El Dorado Broncos. Anders Green will lead it off. Green, Leal, and Sutherland, the scheduled 3 for Chad Gerwick's team. Big thanks to one of our broadcast sponsors. It's Dorado Building Systems Incorporated. Experience counts before and after the sale. Their structures come standard with certified engineering and a selection of long-life finishes for a building you can be proud of for generations to come. Erection services available in select areas. Brad and Roxanne Cool at 1216 West 6th here in El Dorado. They have a toll-free number at 1-800-279-4300. And if nothing else, you could call them up and just thank them for being Bronco corporate sponsors. If you'd like to help out with the broadcast, feel free to get a hold of Vicki Bell. She would appreciate any help that you would like. If you're enjoying our broadcasts, let her know, and if you are able to make a donation to her, she would appreciate that, I know. Anders Green is looking at a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Broncos lead 5-1. We're in the bottom of inning number 4. Green is 0 for 1 officially. He'll remain 0 for 1 when reaching by a hit by pitch and now reaching by a walk. Free pass for Green. So that'll bring up Mike Leal. Mike Leal from Corpus Christi, Texas. At Lamar University, is that what you said? Okay, he was at Galveston Community College heading to Lamar. On the move was Green. Fouling it off is Leal. So a ball and a strike to Mike Leal. Mike on the young season, hitting .375, 3 out of 8, with an RBI. Quick throw over to first. Green had barely stepped off the base. Dives back in. If you're not familiar with Brad Long Field, an artificial turf infield and grass outfield. Here's a pitch. Leal fights this one off and fouls it out of play. Strike 2. So much to like about this baseball team and just the community that your sons are in. Here's Leal hitting one down to first. It's stopped over there by Zane. He's able to recover and record the out, but Green will advance to second base. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Tyler Sutherland. But I'm sure you're the parent. You parents know what's going on here. But the foster parent program, we get to sit up here with Bill Young and Dale and Gina Short, some of the best foster parents around. And there's a whole lot of them that welcome the kids in for the summer, and they develop lifelong relationships. Terrific town to be in. Lots of good folks. And Sutherland slashes one out to short. A nice catch out there, though, by Polston. And then he tried to flip it over to second, but that did not quite work. Back to safely was Green. So a line out for Sutherland as he hit that one well. That'll bring up Slayton Vaughn. Slayton Vaughn did not play last night, as he looks at strike 1. On opening night, he singled his first 3 at-bats, finished 3 for 4 here Saturday, didn't play last night. He's 2 for 2 here tonight. So 2 away in the Bronco 4th, and Vaughn rips one out to short, and that hit Anders Green on the heel, and that will be an out. So Vaughn will be credited with a single, but Anders Green is retired. 6 unassisted. Gary knows everything. So Vaughn will get a single, but That is the end. That's always a kind of a goofy scoring. So, no runs, a hit, no errors, and no one left. So we are through 4 innings complete here from beautiful McDonald Stadium on just a gorgeous night for baseball. Our score, El Dorado 5 and Park City 1. So we start to the top of the 5th inning, and Cameron Zane will lead it off for Park City, 5-1 El Dorado. Park City took a 1-0 lead in the top of the 2nd inning. El Dorado answered with 2 in the 2nd, 3 more in the 3rd. 5-6-1 for El Dorado, 1-2-1 for Park City. So here's Zane. He doubled. And here's one up the middle. Anders Green ranges off his glove. And it'll be a base hit for Zane. It wasn't hit that hard. Green would have had a tough time throwing out Zane. New pitcher for the El Dorado Broncos here for the 5th inning is Mason Heiser, 6 foot 150, from Barton County Community College. He's from just down the road in Augusta. Heiser on the season, a couple of innings pitched. He's given up 2 runs, both earned. Polston a swing and a miss, strike 1. Alex Polston, 1 for 1, a single and a walk here tonight. And the curveball laced into left field. Getting back there is Leal, and he'll make the catch. It was hit right at him. Good wood put on by Polston. So the first out of the inning. So Braxton Chapman, who on both plate appearances has had Polston at first base, and he's grounded to Anders Green. Now it's Zane at first base with Chapman up there. And a throw over to first, and back safely is Zane. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Broncos on the rail by 4. And the pitch from Heiser, a little outside, ball 1. Good heat on that pitch from Heiser. Here's the 1-0, fouled out of play. And the 1-2 is flipped down the line. That'll be well foul. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes, I should say. So the 1-2 pitch coming here to Braxton Chapman, and we'll wait for it to throw over to first. Earlier I panned out to let you folks know that may not have not been here maybe, just the parking lot fills up, and we've got youth baseball out in the distance. A couple other fields not being used tonight, but they will be during the season. It's really fun when you have Broncos games and youth baseball down there, and Lot going on here in the great city of El Dorado. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chapman. 1 away here in the Ranger 5th. Heiser has a look in. Decent lead over there by Zane. And Zane bluffs, and Chapman was fooled, and he swung meekly and missed. I don't know if Chapman was confused by the bluff by Zane. Sometimes base runners can, they're trying to bluff the catcher and the pitcher. Sometimes they can be a distraction to the batter. It looked like it might have been the case there for Chapman. Hey, Heiser comes in, Mason Heiser, and that curveball stayed upstairs, ball 1. Heiser works quickly. I like that. So 2 away. Still at first base is Zane. And the pitch, that one's low, and Maxey smothers that, ball 2. Two balls and no strikes to Brandon Landinger. Landinger is 0 for 2 tonight. And he swings at a high offering, strike 1. Landinger hit in a fielder's choice in the first inning and then had some bad luck as he hit one up the middle on a hit and run, and Grant Ware was able to field it easily, touch second, and go to first for a double play. Here's one fouled straight back and out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Decent lead by Zane. Mason Heiser, the right-hander, throws, and that one's in the turf, and another excellent play by Maxey. So Zane will be on the move here, and Broncos players tell him probably if it's hit to you in the infield, the play's probably going to be at first. Vaughn backs off of first base, and now the 3-2, and inside, ball 4. Maxey saw it. That might have been a strike, as he kind of zipped out of his crouch and started heading towards the dugout. So here comes Sherwin Salem. So a single and a walk, a fly out and a strikeout, 2 away for the Rangers. And Sherwin Salem. Salem struck out but advanced, got to first base on the wild pitch, and he grounded out to third. So 0 for 2 officially for Salem. And he'll look at strike 1. Good heat on the inside half by Mason Heiser. Looks like Ryan Bailey will be the next pitcher for the Broncos. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Salem. Curveball, and in there, strike 2. So Sherwin Salem in a hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch in the turf. Maxey blocks it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mason Heiser fires it in on the corner. Strike 3 looking. So no runs, a hit. No errors and 2 left. We're halfway through from El Dorado. Our score, Broncos 5, Rangers 1. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So a new half inning, a new batter, and a new pitcher. We'll tell you who they are in just a second. First pitch is up and in, ball one. So the new pitcher for the Park City Rangers is Kyle Lacey. Lacey was the starting left fielder here Saturday night. Here he comes in relief for the Rangers in the top of the fifth inning, and he's quickly behind 2-0. The batter for the Broncos is Will Price. Will Price has scored twice tonight. He's officially 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice. He was hit by a pitch and stole a base in the third. Came around and scored eventually. Lacey, good gas on the inside, but too far inside. Ball 3. So Ingrid Green, mother of Anders Green, lets me know that she, after a very long day of travel yesterday, made it back to Portland, Oregon, and then over to Silverton. 95 degrees in Portland yesterday, which is crazy. My youngest son going to school at the University of Portland in the fall. So Will Price, for the third time tonight, is on base. He's 0 for 1 in 3 plate appearances. Been hit by a pitch and now walked. Here's Tony Colsing. And Tony looks at ball 1. Tony's gone to the right side in each of his first 2 at-bats. A space hit between first and second, and then a deep sacrifice fly out to right field. So Tony, 1 for 1 with a single and an RBI. Price gets his lead. Lacey, a left-handed pitcher, and that pitch in the turf, ball 2. So Lacey having a tough time finding the zone. It almost looked like he hitched just slightly. Thinking about maybe throwing it over to first base. So 6 straight balls for Lacey. Tyler Huffstickler started for the Rangers, had a great first, then kind of limped through the second and didn't make it through the third inning. Jared Price came in to clean up the third. Fairly uneventful fourth inning by Price, but now here in the fifth, a leadoff walk to Price, and now Tony Colsing holding all the cards with a 3-ball, no-strike count. And the 3-0 is through the wickets. Was it a strike? Nope, it was not. So ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and here comes a visit from the Park City bench. 5-1 El Dorado. So talked about the kind of the new, if you're new to the league here, in the past we've had 2 divisions, and it hasn't been a balanced schedule, which isn't that big of a deal, except for El Dorado. Always kind of got the short end because they were in the same division as Hayes, Dodge City, and Liberal, which, if you're not familiar with the Kansas terrain, those are 3 pretty long trips. When you look at the other division where El Dorado is actually closer to those teams, Wellington, Derby, Bethany, those clubs, so, and Hayesville. So the league, in their winter meetings, decided to go to a balanced schedule. Everyone will play everyone home, 3 games at home, 3 games on the road. And at the midway point of the season, there'll be a first half champion, and then there'll be a second half champion. And those 2 teams, whoever wins the half, with the first half and the second half, those 2 teams will play for the league championship at the end of the season. Here's Philip Jacobson at the plate for El Dorado. So they used to have 4-game when El Dorado would go to Hayes, they'd be there for 4 days, or Hayes would come here, or Dodge City, and they'd be here for 4. It just seems better with 3. And it's balanced. You play everybody the same amount of times, and you play everybody the same amount at home and away. Now, it's kind of interesting, those teams that are so far away, like Hayes, or Dodge City, or Liberal, when the Broncos play them and vice versa, when they come here, they'll be here for all 3 days, but when they play some of the teams that are closer, like Wellington or Hayesville, they'll play maybe 1 night here and then the other 2 nights there. And then later in the year, it'll be 1 night there and 2 nights here. Hopefully that's not terribly confusing, but when you look at the schedule, that's why it kind of looks a little squirrely that way. 2 balls and no strikes to Jacobson. And I'll tell you what, Kyle Lacey is struggling. That is, 11 straight balls now. 3 balls and no strikes. I would be more than shocked if Philip Jacobson was swinging here. And the 3-0. And that one caught some of the plate. So Lacey found the strike zone there. 3 balls and a strike. Will Price standing down at second. Tony Colsing at first. Three balls and a strike to Jacobson. And the pitch is bounced in there. Not even close. And ball 4. So for I think it's the third time tonight we've seen the bases loaded for the Broncos tonight. They haven't really gotten that big cash in yet. The first 3, in fact, the first 4 batters for El Dorado reached in the second inning. The first 3 batters reached in the third inning, and now the first 3 batters reach here in the 5th inning. Really amazing that it's only 5-1. And a first pitch strike to Ethan Maxey. Maxey 1 for 2. He had a beautiful bunt single back in the third inning. Slightly open stance for Maxey. And the pitch, and that one's in there for strike 2. So all of a sudden, Kyle Lacey has found the zone, and he pounded it twice. No balls and 2 strikes. Grant Ware waits on deck. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Just missed. Ball 1. Infield moves in. They've got to force at every play, at every base. I'm sure any infielder gets it, unless they've got a tailor-made double play, they'd probably be coming home. A 5-1 deficit right now for Park City. And a curveball again, and that's in there for strike 3. A big strikeout by Lacey. So the Broncos continue to wait to really cash in here.
Number 9, Grant Ware.
Grant Ware up there. He is 0 for 2 with an RBI tonight. He hit one on the screws his last at bat, but right at the center fielder, Brandon Landinger. First pitch out of the zone, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. To the shortstop, the number 9 batter, who wears number 9, Grant Ware. Lacey winds and throws, and that one in there for strike 1. And the middle infielders go to double play depth. First baseman Zane is in on the green part of the turf, and at third base, Baca slightly behind the base. So kind of an interesting alignment on the corners for Park City. Short and second playing where they normally do, hoping that Grant Ware is going to roll into a double play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lacey a long look in. And now he starts his wind up, and Ware a swing and a miss, strike 2. Ware has one of the longer follow-throughs on his swing. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Lacey trying to work out of a mess that he created. 3 straight walks. He opened the inning, but then he struck out Ethan Maxey, and now could not strike out Ware. Ware lifts it out into left field. It'll be caught out there by Williams. Here is the play at the plate. Sliding in safely. A great throw by Williams, but just sliding under the tag was Will Price, and it's a sacrifice fly for Grant Ware. No advance from the other runners, so now Anders Green comes to the plate.
Second baseman Anders Green.
And Mom Ingrid Green watching. I mentioned she emailed me a little bit ago. In sunny, warm, it's warm Oregon. Oh, it's not Anders Green up there. We've got Nick Hammocky coming up to the plate. So Nick Hammocky will bat. Sorry about that, Ingrid. Hammocky, pinch hitting. And the first pitch low, ball 1.
My mistake at the plate is number 5, Nick
I took a quick peek at the number. Anders Green wears 15. Hammocky wears 5. So Hammocky last night was 1 for 2 before he was lifted. And he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Home half of the 5th inning. Broncos 6. Rangers 1. Left-handed pitcher Kyle Lacey. The leadoff walk has come around to score, but tell you what, if he gets out of this with only allowing 1 run, he'd have to feel pretty good about himself. This one bounced in, ball 3. Mike Leal waits on deck for the Broncos. So 3 balls and no strikes to Nick Hammocky. Nick from Hays, Kansas, goes to Fort Hays State University, and he's taking all the way, looks at strike 1. Three balls and a strike to Hammocky. And Lacey takes a look at second. Now he's ready, and the 3-1 is on the inside half, strike 2. So the runners will get a head start here. Any hit should score Colsing for sure, maybe even Jacobson. Over at first base, Cameron Zane backs up, so no one holding the runners. They should get an excellent lead. Here comes the action pitch, and a curveball, fairly generous on the inside. Strike 3 is called, and that will end the inning. So 3 straight walks to start the inning, but only 1 run came in. 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 2 left. So we'll go to the 6th inning. It's Broncos 6, Rangers 1.
Scores Broncos 6 and the Parks.
So the Broncos, in one sense, have to feel good. They're ahead 6-1, but in another sense, well, they've had the bases loaded. A lot of traffic out on the base pads and just haven't come up with that big hit to really get everyone going. But they still lead 6-1. Leading off for the Rangers is Channing Williams, and he's greeted by Ryan Bailey here in the 6th inning. And a line drive out to shortstop. That'll be caught by Grant Ware for the first out. Nick Hammocky has gone over to second base for Anders Green. So Anders, after playing all of Saturday and Sunday, and halfway through here tonight, will get a breather. A line out for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 6th. And now it's Clayton Beaver, and he looks at strike 1. The 0-1, close, but out of the zone, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sun setting makes it a little easier for you to watch from home. We don't have quite the glare and the brightness. Got the window open tonight, so if you're noticing a difference, I'm just curious if you're noticing a difference, those of you that watched Saturday and Sunday and now are watching tonight, let me know. I think I see the difference. I'm looking at the picture here. Well, Bailey's all over the strike zone, or close at least, but not getting the generosity from the home plate umpire. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Beaver. And the pitch, and that one will be called strike 2. Ryan Bailey from Kentucky Wesleyan College. Beaver lifts one out into right field, and with a beat on it out there is Jacobson. He's got the catch, and the second out of the inning. So Matt Baca comes up. Quickly 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Bailey on the year has gone a couple of innings, given up a couple of runs as well. Strike 1. And here's a tapper. Bailey goes behind the mound, makes the catch over to first to retire Baca. And for the first time tonight, the Rangers are retired 1, 2, 3. A good inning of work by Ryan Bailey. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score, El Dorado 6, Park City 1. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball, thanks to our friends at El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated here on YouTube. And welcome back. Kurt Caden with you here on a terrific Monday night from McDonald Stadium. And it's Mike Leal leading it off for El Dorado. And he'll look at strike 1. Ty Chiglo, the new pitcher for the Rangers. And Leal chops one to first, and Zane backs up, makes the play, and retires Leal. And that'll bring up Tyler Sutherland. Tyler Sutherland tonight, 1 for 3. Grounded out to third. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning, and a line out to short in the 4th. Ty Chiglo, the fourth pitcher from the Rangers tonight. Huffstickler started, Jared Price, then Lacey, now Chiglo. Slayton Vaughn waits on deck for El Dorado. 1 ball and no strikes to Sutherland, and he lifts one out into right field, and that's going to one-hop the wall. Sutherland around first, on his way to second for a stand-up double. Tyler Sutherland got into one there. So here comes Slayton Vaughn. Vaughn from Stephen F. Austin, hometown of AZ, Texas. With first base open, you wonder how careful will Chiglo be with Vaughn. Big old Slayton Vaughn, 3 for 3 tonight, 3 singles. Bad luck on his last single. It hit the heel of Anders Green. Curveball, and that one drops in for a strike. That was a slow curve in there. (6-1) Broncos here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the 0-1 pitch to Vaughn. And swing and a miss. That got through the catcher, Beaver, and over to third, Sutherland. So now Sutherland down at third. Vaughn, an 0-2 count. On Saturday night, he got into an 0-2 count in each of his 4 at-bats. And on the 4th one, we thought it was going to drop in for a single, but he flew out. Here's the 0-2. And he hits it out to right field. Coming in on the play is Chapman. He makes a catch in shallow right field and just not deep enough for Sutherland to score. So Vaughn is retired for the first time tonight. And it's Will Price.
Your designated hitter, Will Price.
Will Price on the night. 0 for 1, but he has scored 3 of the El Dorado 6 runs tonight. See if he can drive one in here. First offering stays up high, ball 1. Will Price hit into a fielder's choice and scored, was hit by a pitch and scored, walked and scored. 2 away in the Broncos 6th, and the 1-0 is low, ball 2. Tony Colsing waits on deck for El Dorado. And the 2-0 pitch to Will Price. And that one nearly hit him, ball 3. If any of you are interested in making a donation to our broadcast, just send me an email and I'll get you in touch with who would be able to help you out with that. CadenBroadcasting@gmail.com. Well, that one looked good, but it's ball 4, so trotting down to first will be Will Price. He's on base for the 4th time tonight.
Now at the plate, number 1, your third base.
And here comes Tony Colsing. Tony Colsing, 1 for 1 tonight, a sacrifice fly, a walk, and a single. Will Price on the move, slow curve, no chance to get Price, so stolen base for Will Price. Colsing ahead, 1-0, and the pitch. And that one dives down low, ball 2. Down at third is Tyler Sutherland, led off with a double, or check that, didn't lead off, with a 1-out double. Price walked. They're at second and third. And the 2-0 pitch. Colsing chops it to third on one hop. Baca over to first. A little bit of trouble, but Zane gathers it, and that will retire Colsing. So again, the Broncos leave runners out in scoring position. We're through 6 innings of play. El Dorado 6, Park City 1. So the top half of the 7th inning is upon us, and it'll be the designated hitter, Steven Contreras, leading off for Park City. Derek Feige is the 7th inning pitcher tonight, and first pitch swinging is Contreras, a high pop on the infield, and Vaughn camps under it and makes the catch.
Now at the plate, number 8, Cameron Zane.
So here comes Cameron Zane. Zane 2 for 2 tonight, a double and a single. He has 2 of the Rangers' 3 hits tonight. Derek Feige, 6'1", 170 from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He, along with Tony Colsing, go to South Dakota State, along and with Philip Jacobson. And Feige fires in strike 1. So an 0-1 count to Cameron Zane, and the pitch from Feige, and that one's in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And a waste pitch, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Cameron Zane. And the pitch from Feige, swing and a miss, got away momentarily from Maxey. He'll fire down to Vaughn to retire Zane. So 2 away. And here's Alex Polston.
Number 30, Alex Polston.
Polston 1 for 2 tonight, singled in the first, walked in the third, flew out to left in the 5th. First pitch from Feige, just a little bit low, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch from Feige. And that one slapped foul out of play. The 1-1, and Polston offered but did not go around. 2 balls and a strike. Alex Polston, right-handed batter. Leadoff hitter for the Rangers. And that one's up and in, ball 3. 5G buzzing the tower. Six Rangers in a row have been retired. The 3-1 pitch got away, ball 4.
Number 10, Braxton Chapman.
It's the second time tonight a 2-out walk has been issued by Bronco pitching. So that brings up Braxton Chapman. Left-handed batter. Over to first. Polston was leaning, but he's able to scamper back. So Feige takes a look over at first and fires home, and that one's fouled straight back. Broncos and Hayes. League play starts tomorrow night from Hayes, Kansas. Three-game series at Hayes. They'll come back here. I think they're here actually for the big 4th of July celebration that they put on here in El Dorado. It is a dandy celebration, too. No balls and a strike. And Chapman lifts one out into left field, into foul territory, and it drops for a strike 2. Broncos will entertain Dodge City here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hope to have good crowds for that big weekend series. If not, we'll have the broadcast for you here on YouTube all weekend long. No balls and 2 strikes to Chapman. He is 0 for 3 and fouls one off. Brandon Landinger waits on deck for the Rangers. And the 0-2, just a bit high, ball 1. Maybe a little off the plate. (6-1) Broncos, top of the 7th inning. Polston, not a huge lead over at first. And the 1-2, and fisted ears. And that will get just over the netting and just in front of the bleachers. So some new baseballs for the umpire. And Derek Feige back at it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Polston on the move. Chapman looked like he offered. He did. That'll be strike 3. So that's the second time tonight. Chapman, when a runner's been either bluffing or in motion, just seems to have gets confused up there. And strikes out for the second time tonight. It's time to stretch at McDonald Stadium. It's El Dorado 6, Park City 1. Bronco baseball here on YouTube. So it's 7-8-9 in the Bronco lineup here for the 7th inning. Philip Jacobson leading it off. Jacobson 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. New Park City pitcher here in the 7th is Tanner Lee. And quickly, strike one on Jacobson. And the 0-1 pitch, Philip hits this one foul and out of play. On a bounce on top of a car. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch from Lee bouncing in there, ball 1. Leadoff batter here in the 7th inning for El Dorado. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll bring up the catcher, Ethan Maxey.
To the plate now from Kentucky Wesleyan, your catcher number 24, Ethan Maxey.
Maxey, a couple of strikeouts tonight with a single sandwiched in between, 1 for 3 officially. Maxey came into the game batting .200. Looks at ball 1. Of course, stats early in the year tend to be either really elevated or really low. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and a swing and a miss from Maxey. Grant Ware on deck for El Dorado. And the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch. And Maxey rips one out into center field, but a good read out there by Landinger, and he runs it down to make the catch.
Now at the plate, number 9.
So that'll bring up Grant Ware. Grant Ware's got a couple of RBIs tonight. A infield ground out for an RBI. He flew out to center, and then a sacrifice fly out to left field. And the first pitch to Ware in there for strike 1. Base is empty for the Broncos here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-1 El Dorado. They scored 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. They've left 9 runners on base tonight, 5 of which in scoring position. But the pitching has been good again tonight. Shut out the Cannons last night. Here's one down to third, and that one gets through Matt Baca. And
Now at the plate, number
we wait for the official ruling there. That could go either way. Going to be an error. Either way, it probably could have sharply hit, but a play that probably needs to be made there by Baca. Looks like the Broncos are going to run a pinch runner out there. Adam Brown.
on first base, number 18 from Kentucky Wesleyan College, Adam Brown.
So Adam Brown got an email from his folks tonight there were watching, and hopefully still are, as Adam pinch runs. And Nick Hammocky at the plate for the El Dorado Broncos. Nick came in the game in the 5th inning and struck out looking on a close pitch. 1 ball and no strikes to Hammocky. And a check on Brown over at first, and he's back in safely. Right-handed batter is Hammocky, and he bounces one to Baca at third. He gloves this one, looks at second. He'll throw to first to retire Hammocky and the Broncos in the 7th. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left. We'll head to the 8th inning. El Dorado 6, Park City 1. So we head to the top of the 8th inning, and Brandon Landinger will lead it off for the Park City Rangers. The new pitcher for the Broncos here in the 8th inning is Mark Quinby. Quinby closed the game out here Saturday, shut down the Rangers, and preserved a 7-6 Bronco win Saturday night. Comes into the 8th inning here, and a 1-0 count to Landinger. That's in there for strike one. Landinger, Salem, and Williams, the scheduled three. For Park City. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quinby's pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. It looks like the Rangers are going to have a pinch hitter for Salem. Try to get his name for you here in a moment. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And just a bit high, ball 2. Looks like it is... Well, the famous number 36 looks like is going to come up. We don't have a name for. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a strikeout of Landinger. So here comes number 36. He came in to pitch the other night. We don't know his name, though. It's not even on the roster.
Now adding number 36.
So Quinby will deal with 3-6. And the first pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. 6-1 Broncos here in the top of the 8th inning. And the 0-1 from Quinby, swing and a miss, strike two. Mark Quinby, San Mateo Community College. His hometown is Gilroy, California. Now, Gina Short tells me that Gilroy, California is the garlic capital of the world. So, see how spicy Quinby is, and number 36 comes up with a base hit. Just the 4th hit.
At third base, we have number 18, Adam Brown. At shortstop, we have number 5, Nick Hammocky. And Tony Colson, number 1, has moved up to second base. So now at the plate,
Broncos have
number 17,
made a few changes. Adam Brown is now in at third. Tony Colsing moves over to second base, and Nick Hammocky is at short. And the first pitch to Channing Williams. Outside, ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Williams. He's 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of ground outs and a line out. And he hits one out into center field. Sutherland with a beat on it and made the catch. Can he get to his feet? He can. A throw to first base. Double play. Tyler Sutherland with a terrific defensive play for the Broncos. It turns into a 8-3 double play. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Broncos 6, Rangers 1. So Mike Leal will lead it off for the El Dorado Broncos here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 6-1 El Dorado lead. Chad Gerwick has to like that almost through 3 full games, his team has trailed for all of a half inning. They fell behind for the first time in this homestand in the top of the second, 1-0. But immediately crawled back into the lead. They scored 2 in the bottom of the second and led 2-1. Scored 3 in the third to make it 5-1. And then 1 more in the 5th inning to make it 6-1, and that's where we've stood ever since. Mike Leal down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alex Polston is the new pitcher for Park City. They've made several changes in the field. And Leal fights off a good 1-2 pitch and stays alive. Leal, Sutherland, and Vaughn. What a terrific defensive play to finish off the top of the 8th inning by Tyler Sutherland. Mike Leal, 0 for 4 tonight. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. A ground out, a fly out, and then a back-to-back ground outs to first base. And lifts this one to shallow left field. And coming in to make the play, the left fielder for the first out. So that'll bring up Tyler Sutherland, who made that excellent defensive play. Sutherland 2 for 4 tonight, a double and a single. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Also hit one hard in the 4th, a line drive out to the shortstop. So 1 away in the home half of the 8th, and ball 1 to Sutherland. High drive up from Winfield each game, and Sutherland is just 10 miles south of me. He lives in Arkansas City. Former Arkansas City Bulldog. 2 balls and no strikes to Sutherland. Alex Polston winds and deals. That one's in there for strike 1. All these games are archived. You can go back and watch to any part of it or all of it if you like, just shortly once we finish our stream each evening. You can go back and watch last night's game, Saturday night's game, any game from last year that was here at McDonald Stadium. Sutherland takes a 5-pitch walk.
Now at the plate, number 40, your first base.
So here comes Slayton Vaughn. Vaughn 3 for 4 tonight. 3 singles, 2 runs scored. And that one just off the plate, ball 1. Six, 7, and 1 for El Dorado. 1, 4, and 2 for Park City. And Vaughn smacks one foul into the netting. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sutherland always a threat to go, but up 6-1. I'm not sure how frisky Chad Gerwick will be here. Vaughn looks at ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Slayton Vaughn. Another rough night for the Royals. They unable to really score anything. They lose 4-1 tonight at Baltimore. And this one gets away from Beaver, and Sutherland will take second base. So a stolen base. Sutherland was on the move. And a 3-1 count now to Slayton Vaughn. So after Beaver visits with Polston, now they're ready. 3 balls and a strike. To Slayton Vaughn, right-handed batter. Will look to chomp on something here and didn't get a pitch to hit. He'll walk. So back-to-back walks. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walks tonight by Ranger pitching. They're really fortunate to be only down 6-1 right now. So Will Price comes to the dish. A meeting at the mound. Trying to get Alex Polston back on track. And now we're ready for action. Runners at first and second for El Dorado. Will Price looks at ball 1. Will Price, designated hitter tonight. He's been on base all 4 times. A couple of walks. He's been hit by a pitch, reached on a fielder's choice. Polston delivers, and Price laces one into the gap in right center field. That will one-hop the wall. Price on his way to second. Sutherland scores. Here comes Vaughn, and there won't be a play at the plate. A 2-run double by Will Price. Scored Vaughn all the way from first, Sutherland from second.
Baseman number 1, Tony Polston.
And it's 8-1 El Dorado. It's got to feel good for the Bronco Nation. They've been waiting for some kind of big hit, and Will Price came up with it there. So Price is on base for the 5th time tonight. Colsing looks at strike 1. 1 away here for the Broncos. Tony Colsing at the dish. Tony 1 for 2, a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. He walked in the 5th. And the 0-1 pitch, and that one's inside, ball 1. So the 1 ball, 1 strike count to Colsing. He hits one up the middle, ranging over the second baseman, retires Colston. Will Price advances to third. And that'll bring up Philip Jacobson.
Number 11, Philip Jacobson.
Philip Jacobson, 0 for 2 with a pair of walks tonight. And he's first pitch swinging, a high pop towards the Ranger dugout. And it is caught by the pitcher, Polston. The first baseman and the catcher went right on by, and it was Polston who made the catch. But a 2-run double by Will Price. 2 runs on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 left. We head to the 9th, 8-1 El Dorado. So the El Dorado Broncos looking to go 3-0 on the season. Lead 8-1 here in the top of the ninth inning. And the ninth inning pitcher tonight is Drake Harper. And the first pitch to Clayton Beaver is outside, ball one. Drake Harper from Ardmore, Oklahoma, goes to school right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College. And he wants Ethan Maxey to come out and go over the signs. Broncos are on the road for the next 3 nights in Hays, Kansas. They're back home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the Dodge City A's. All 3 games will be on YouTube. And Beaver pops it straight up. Maxey throws off the mask, and Ethan Maxey. Boy, that's so tough for a catcher. That one probably Vaughn could have taken control there. Ethan Maxey kind of going towards the field of play. Just couldn't get under it. So it's a foul ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Drake Harper, 6'3", 185. And his 1-1 pitch, curveball, darts down low, ball 2. And now ball 3. So Bev Quinby, thank you for the info. And she concurs as the view is better with the window open. So we will do that from now on. Yeah, no glare, especially at night. It's not as noticeable during when the sun's out and everything, but at night we kind of get a glare going. So this is better. Hear more of the sounds of the yard as well. Full count to Clayton Beaver. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. 8-1 Broncos. And the pitch. And a high strike called for strike 3 in the first out of the inning. Beaver took a quick look back, a little bit of amazement.
Now batting number 12, Matt Baca.
So Matt Baca comes to the plate. Baca also 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Bev Quinby watching from the garlic capital. Does that mean there's just garlic everywhere? Here in Kansas, wheat fields, you see quite a bit. And does California garlic taste different, better than anywhere else? We might need a taste test. No balls and a strike. Bev Quinby's son, Mark Quinby, pitched a good 8th inning. Got some help from Tyler Sutherland out in center field. He made a beautiful diving catch, which turned into a double play and a clean inning for Mark Quinby. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chopped foul, strike 2. The designated hitter, Steven Contreras, waits on deck. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Matt Baca. And this one fouled off his shoe tops. Eight to 1 El Dorado. Little added insurance in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 2-run double by Will Price. Open stance from Baca at the plate. And the pitch, and that one's fouled into the parking lot. Appreciate all the emails. Folks, I'll tell you, usually it takes about a week or 2 to start gathering momentum of our broadcast, and it's so fun to see so many people watching, listening, emailing. this early in the year really is exciting. Last night's game in 24 hours got nearly 300 views. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Hit towards right field, and it'll get into right field for a base hit. Tony Colsing over at second was charging after it, just could not cut the gap. So Contreras will come to the plate. 0 for 3. He scored the only run, reached on an error back in the second inning, and scored on a Cameron Zane double. And the first pitch from Harper in there for strike one. Lead off of first by Baca, and the pitch from Harper, and that's on the inside corner, strike two. So no balls and 2 strikes to Contreras. 1 away in the Ranger 9th inning. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Harper disposes of Contreras. So 2 away, and here comes Cameron Zane. Zane 2 for 3, a double, an RBI double, a single, and a strikeout. And first pitch is down low, ball 1. Matt Baca over at first base for the Rangers. And Drake Harper's 1-0 pitch fouled out of play, strike 1. And the 1-1 pitch, fastball in there for strike 2. Bev Quinby says, yeah, the best garlic in the world, home of the annual Garlic Festival. There's a Garlic Festival. Gina knew, and samples are on the way for the 4th of July weekend. So make sure, there's one popped, not going to be caught, it's foul ball. We need samples not only for me, but I'm sure Gina Short can really cook up. Bill Young will take some garlic. So, Gary, how about Gary? Does Gary need garlic? Our statistician, Gary. Maybe Gina could slip some garlic in a sandwich for Gary or something. Although he's plenty spicy already. But so, yeah, we're all anxious here in the press box. That's a whole month away. We've got a month to think up some good recipes. I mentioned garlic, and our PA announcer, Bill Young, nearly jumped out of his seat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garlic's dicey. You never know exactly how much, though, do you? How much to put in? 2 balls, 2 strikes? A lot. A lot. The curveball drops in there for strike 3. Cameron Zane goes down looking, and that is the end of the game, and another win for the El Dorado Broncos here as a very nice start to the season. 3 straight wins, 2 of which over the Park City Rangers, and just 1 run given up in 2 games. So 1 run given up in 2 games. Chad Gerwick has to like what he saw there, but league play is a different animal, and the Broncos will jump into league play tomorrow night at Hays, Kansas. Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday at Hays. And then Dodge City comes to town on Friday. So 8-1 the final score as we take a look at the players down there. Hopefully some of you watching can see your son. Good camaraderie out there. Last year when El Dorado opened the season in Hays, they took 3 out of 4 and really jump-started their season and propelled them all the way to the NBC World Series, which is held each year in Wichita. So the Broncos, for the 2nd year in a row, will begin league play out in Hays. The line score, let's take a look at that really quick before we get off the air. 8 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for El Dorado. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Park City. 8-1, your final score. Our hitting star of the night. Well, we'll give it to a couple players. Slayton Vaughn tonight was 2 for 4. He scored 3 runs. Will Price was 1 for 2, but he had a big 2 RBI double. He also scored 3 times tonight. So Slayton Vaughn and Will Price are players of the game tonight, are hitting stars for the El Dorado Broncos. Thanks so much for the emails. I'll talk to you again on Friday night, 7 o'clock, when Dodge City comes to town, and hopefully we'll have a 6-0 overall and 3-0 in league play Bronco team to view here on Friday. Thanks so much for watching the broadcast. Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.